Welcome to Africa, a continent of immense beauty and extraordinary diversity. Here, amidst the vast savannas and scorching deserts, rise majestic mountains, each a testament to the power of nature. Join us as we embark on a thrilling expedition to explore these towering giants, from the snow-capped peak of Kilimanjaro to the rugged peaks of the Drakensberg. Our journey will take us through a tapestry of landscapes, each more breathtaking than the last. We will traverse lush rainforests, home to an astonishing array of life, and ascend into high-altitude moorlands where only the hardiest of creatures survive. Prepare to be captivated by the sight of unique flora, from giant lobelias to delicate alpine flowers clinging tenaciously to life. Our adventure begins in Tanzania at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest point in Africa. This dormant volcano stands as a solitary giant, its snow-capped peak piercing the clouds.
As we begin our ascent, we are enveloped by the sights and sounds of the rainforest. Towering trees form a dense canopy overhead, filtering the sunlight. As we climb higher, the air grows thinner and the rainforest gives way to moorland. The landscape transforms into a surreal expanse of giant heather and otherworldly lobelias. Finally, we reach the summit, Uhuru Peak, rewarded with a breathtaking view of the African savanna.
Our journey now takes us to Kenya, home to Mount Kenya, the second highest peak in Africa. This extinct volcano, its slopes adorned with glaciers, despite straddling the equator, is a sight to behold.
As we begin our ascent, we are greeted by the sight of lush montane forests, a stark contrast to the arid plains that surround the mountain. Here, towering cedar and podocarpus trees stand tall, their branches draped with mosses and lichens. The air is alive with the sound of birdsong, a symphony of trills and chirps that fills the air.
As we ascend, the forest gives way to bamboo forests, their tall stalks swaying gently in the breeze. This is the realm of the mountain bongo, a large, elusive antelope with a distinctive reddish-brown coat.
Higher still, we enter a zone of heathland and moorland, where giant groundsels and lobelias dominate the landscape. Finally, we reach the jagged peaks of Mount Kenya, their glaciers glinting in the sunlight, a reminder of the power of nature.
Our expedition now leads us deep into the heart of Africa, to the Rwenzori Mountains, a range shrouded in mist and mystery. Here, on the border of Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, lies Mount Stanley, the third highest peak in Africa.
From the outset, our senses are overwhelmed by the sheer abundance of life that thrives in these mountains. We begin our ascent through dense rainforest, the air thick with humidity and the sound of dripping water. Giant ferns unfurl their fronds, creating a prehistoric atmosphere, while orchids in a dazzling array of colors cling to the moss-covered branches.
As we climb, the air cools, and the rainforest gives way to bamboo forests, their emerald stalks forming a natural cathedral. This is the realm of the chimpanzee, our closest living relative.
Higher still, we emerge into a magical world of giant heathers and otherworldly lobelias. As we approach the summit, we enter a realm of snow and ice, finding a sense of peace and solitude amidst the glaciers and ice falls.
Our journey continues in Tanzania, where we find Mount Meru, often overshadowed by its towering neighbor, Kilimanjaro.
This dormant volcano offers a microcosm of the diverse ecosystems found on the larger peaks.
We begin our ascent through lush montane forests, home to a wealth of birdlife. Flocks of brightly colored sunbirds flit amongst the flowers, their iridescent feathers catching the light.
Black and white colobus monkeys swing through the trees, their calls echoing through the forest. As we climb, the forest thins, giving way to open grasslands and heaths. Finally, we reach the crater rim, where we are rewarded with breathtaking views of the surrounding plains and the majestic peak of Kilimanjaro in the distance.
Our quest to explore Africa's majestic mountains now takes us to Ethiopia, a land of ancient history and dramatic landscapes. Here, rising dramatically from the Ethiopian highlands, we find the Simien Mountains, a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
As we begin our trek through the Simien Mountains National Park, we're greeted by a scene of dramatic beauty. Towering cliffs drop away to deep gorges carved over millennia by the relentless forces of erosion.
Giant lobelias, found only in the Ethiopian highlands, stand like sentinels, their spiky leaves reaching towards the sky. Wildflowers in a riot of colors carpet the meadows, their blooms attracting a myriad of insects.
But it is the wildlife of the Simien Mountains that truly captivates the imagination. Here we find the gelada baboon, a primate found nowhere else on Earth, roaming the grasslands in large troops. We continue our Ethiopian adventure with a climb to the summit of Ras Dashen, the highest peak in Ethiopia. Located in the Simien Mountains National Park, Ras Dashen presents a challenging yet rewarding climb.
Our journey begins amidst the Afro-Alpine moorlands, a high-altitude ecosystem characterized by its unique flora and fauna. Giant lobelia trees, their bizarre shapes resembling something out of a Dr. Seuss book, dot the landscape.
As we ascend, we encounter the Walia ibex, a species of wild goat found only in the Simien Mountains. These agile creatures with their impressive horns are perfectly adapted to life on the steep cliffs and rocky outcrops.
The air grows thinner with every step and the vegetation becomes sparser as we approach the summit.
The landscape transforms into a surreal world of rock and sky, with panoramic views stretching out in all directions. Reaching the summit of Ras Dashen is a moment of pure exhilaration, a testament to the human spirit's drive to conquer new heights.
Our adventure takes us now to the border of Uganda and Kenya, to Mount Elgon, an extinct volcano with a unique claim to fame. Unlike the other towering peaks we've explored, Mount Elgon is known for its massive caldera, a collapsed volcanic crater that is now home to a fascinating array of life.
Our journey begins in the lush montane forests that cloak the lower slopes of Mount Elgon. Here, towering trees form a dense canopy overhead, filtering the sunlight that illuminates a hidden world of ferns, mosses, and delicate orchids.
The air is alive with the sound of birdsong, a symphony of trills, chirps, and whistles that fills the air.
But perhaps the most intriguing inhabitants of Mount Elgon are the elephants. These giants of the animal kingdom are drawn to the mountain's many caves, which they use as salt licks. Higher still, we emerge from the forest and into the caldera, a vast grassy plain surrounded by towering cliffs. Our exploration of Africa's majestic mountains now takes us south to South Africa, where we encounter the Drakensberg Mountains.
Known for their dramatic sandstone cliffs, cascading waterfalls, and ancient sandrock art, the Drakensbergs offer a unique blend of natural beauty and cultural significance.
As we begin our trek through the Drakensberg, we are greeted by a landscape that is both awe-inspiring and intimidating. Towering cliffs, their faces etched with millennia of wind and rain erosion, rise dramatically from the grasslands below.
Waterfalls cascade down these sheer rock faces, their spray creating shimmering rainbows in the sunlight.
The Drakensberg Mountains are also home to a rich diversity of plant life, from delicate ferns clinging to damp crevices to hardy proteas that thrive in the harsh, exposed conditions.
The mountain slopes are ablaze with color during the spring months, when wildflowers carpet the meadows in a vibrant display. No exploration of the Drakensberg would be complete without experiencing the ancient sandrock art that decorates many of the caves and rock shelters.
Our final destination takes us to Cape Town, a city in the shadow of Table Mountain.
Its flat-topped peak, often draped in clouds, defines the city's skyline.
Table Mountain offers an easy ascent via cable car or hiking trails.
As we ascend, we are surrounded by finbows, unique to the Cape Floral Kingdom.
At the top, enjoy panoramic views of Cape Town and the Atlantic Ocean. Our final adventure takes us to Cameroon, where we find Mount Cameroon, an active volcano.
This imposing peak, the highest in Central Africa, is a sight to behold, its summit often shrouded in a plume of smoke.
As we begin our ascent, we are struck by the sheer biodiversity of this region.
We may spot a troop of red-capped mangabeys, their colorful markings vibrant against the green foliage.
Finally, we reach the summit, rewarded with breathtaking views of the rainforest and the Atlantic Ocean. As our journey through Africa's majestic mountains draws to a close, we are left with a profound sense of awe and wonder. We have witnessed the incredible diversity of life that these mountains support, from the lush rainforests to the high-altitude moorlands. We have stood on summits that pierce the clouds, and gazed out over landscapes that stretch as far as the eye can see. But more than just the scenery, it is the spirit of adventure that these mountains embody that will stay with us. The challenge of pushing our limits, of testing ourselves against the raw power of nature, and of discovering the hidden wonders that lie just beyond the next ridge. This is the true allure of the mountains, and it is a call that we will always answer.